Every single day, I have more and more people telling me they're going to wait to invest in real estate until the market crashes. So in this video, I want to break down that concept. I also want to tell you what I think the market's going to do, and then tell you if I think you should invest now or wait. So trying to time the market can be risky for a couple different reasons. One, you can be off and get really hurt. And the other, if you're waiting to invest and waiting for a crash, you could miss out on a lot of upside and a lot of potential gains. I don't know if it's Warren Buffett or somebody like him or smarter than me, said it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. So I'm not trying to catch it at the very bottom and sell it at the very top. I'm planning on holding real estate for a long time, so it doesn't really honestly matter what my rental properties are worth unless I'm looking to sell them. I'm going to own my rentals for the next 20 and 30 years. They're going to go up a lot and down a lot and up a lot and down a lot in the next 20 or 30 years. So trying to time it and trying to sell when it's high or buy a ton when it's low is just super risky because you can get burned or you could miss out on a lot of opportunity to grow in value. So just in the past 18 months, since about when COVID hit, the rental properties that I owned and decided to keep have gone up almost $2 million. They've gone up almost $2 million in value when a lot of people were saying sell, the pandemic is hitting, who knows what's going to happen next, it crossed my mind. But the fact that I held on to that real estate and didn't sell it, the values have gone up almost $2 million. I've also added about $10 million worth of real estate in the past couple years. So putting that together, the real estate market's been really good over the past 18 months. What's going to happen next, and should you wait? Before I get into what I think is going to happen next, make sure to hit that like button. I'm putting a little crystal ball out in this video, so if you appreciate that, hit that like button, because I could be wrong. Just go out and look and type real estate investing crash. You're going to see people predicting and gurus predicting a real estate market crash since 2016, 2017, 2018. Everybody keeps predicting a crash. A, because it's good clickbait to put on a thumbnail. People like that doom and gloom scenario. That kind of scenario people like to read about. People like to be ahead of the curve and predict things before they happen. A lot of people have been really, really wrong over the past several years. So it's actually an unpopular opinion to say that I don't think the market's going to crash anytime soon. So that might be enough of an answer for you, should you wait or not. I could see some type of correction over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but not a crash. Since 2000, the market's gone up, down, and back up again. The past 20 years have been extremely volatile in the real estate market and the real estate investing market, and that is not normal. Usually real estate goes a little bit more of a steady incline and just goes up slowly over time along with inflation and appreciation. The last 20 years have not been normal. So what I see happening over the next 4 to 5 years is a little more stabilization. That doesn't mean the market's going to go up at 20% every single year, but that doesn't mean the market's going to come crashing down. I see potentially a softening or slight growth with a few dips and spikes over the next 5 years. So a little bit more of a upward trend, not a crash and not a straight up like it's been over the past, 10 months. So I just see real estate going back to what it has been doing for the past 200 years with a steady increase. So that being said, of course, I think you should buy now because I think the market's going to remain pretty steady and it might dip a little bit. It might flatten or plateau or kind of, go down a few percent in a few years, but that's not enough to crush your real estate portfolio if you're building it the right way. Like I said earlier, my $150,000 rental that I own's going to be worth $160,000 next year, and it could go back down to $140,000 the following year. But guess what? In 10, 20, 30 years, it's going to go up a lot. So these little dips, even these big dips or these huge upswings don't really matter if you're buying rental properties the right way. Now, if that $150,000 house, I have a $150,000 mortgage on, then I would be concerned. But the fact that I buy at discounts and I have equity built into my rental properties the day I close on them gives me the stability to overcome some of those dips and really take advantage of those upswings. So just know if you're buying real estate the right way, and if you're buying it at discounts and you're getting good tenants in and you're collecting cash every single month and making all your expenses, you can withstand some movements in the market. I'm not going to tell you that you're bulletproof because that's just simply not true. But if you're buying real estate now and the market goes up the next 12, 24 months and then dips a little bit, in the next 12 and 24 months, you are going to get a lot of equity. Those properties are going to go up in value and tenants going to pay the mortgage down. So you should look for at least 20, 25% equity off the bat. Over the next 12 to 24 months, that 20, 25% equity could grow to 30, 35% equity. I'm fairly confident that the market's not going to drop more than that anytime soon. Therefore, you're going to continue to have equity in that property. And all the banks that I work and the banks that you should be working with are okay with markets dipping and properties going down in value. As long as you're paying the mortgage and you're paying the debt that the bank wants you to pay, you should be okay. Because guess what? Even in 08, 09, 2010, the thing that people really like to predict is going to happen next, even during the worst real estate time in the history of the United States of America, people still rented. And the banks that I work with and the banks that you need to find, they didn't call any notes due. They don't want to own that real estate. So if you have good tenants in place, the market dips, the economy dips, whatever happens, and you have good tenants, you're going to still collect rent and you're still going to make your mortgage payments. And it's okay if the value shifts a little bit, because overall real estate goes up in value. If you don't think that real estate goes up in value over time, this probably isn't the channel for you, but there's over 250 years of evidence stating that over time real estate goes up. Yes, there's dips. Yes, there's upswings, but overall real estate's going to go up. So I think that if you wait to invest in real estate, you're potentially missing out on a lot of upside over the next couple of years. And even if it does dip a little bit and you're buying at enough of a discount, you're not going to get hurt if you know how to manage that property properly. Might not be as cool of an opinion as the world's ending, the market's going to crash, sell all your real estate now. But I think it's a little bit more realistic and it's a little bit more like what's going to happen. People that predict this and people that predict this are usually wrong. Like anything else in life, it's usually a little bit more in between. So what I would suggest doing is obviously making sure you're following me on this channel for any updates, making sure to check out my other social media, my Instagram and my TikTok, and checking out and leaning on other investors in your town and in your local market and seeing what they're doing, asking them questions. I mean, of course, obviously even consider my mentorship. In the link below is free training that allows you to schedule a call with me and my team to talk about my mentorship, because that's a huge part of why people get in it and why people invest in my mentorship, to get my opinion and my team's opinion on what's going to happen in the market next. Kind of like having a little insurance policy, getting a little bit of heads up on what's going to happen next. So if you saw any value, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't, and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified when new content comes out. In case I decide to change my mind and I think something bad's going to happen, you're going to want to get notified first.